All right, hello again. Last video of the day. I'm gonna actually just complete my my screen for stocks that I'm interested in trading tomorrow. I've already hit the screener. I've got a list of stocks I'm interested in. So what I'm gonna do is actually put them down here on my trade plan. So what I'm gonna do is just separate that out for a second. And I'm just going to make a list of tickers. So I got UPC is definitely an option. LIFW. So I kind of look, I see that. I kind of like that. It kind of closed toward the high of the candle there. Let me actually click this so I could see LIFW. So $45 million company, doubled in price. It's interesting. I like GXAI more though. You see how that faded all the way back from 350 down to 260. So I'm definitely going to put GXAI on my list. Let's see, HCTI. I love it. Look at that. Look at that price too. That price point is. Let me just push this over here. So I like the stocks that are $1, $2, $3. So these first couple stocks all hit that criteria. I like the high volume. So the volume needs to be like, over 1 million. This is pretty low volume, but I'm still going to put it down because I don't trade big size. Just trade a couple hundred shares here and there, and make my money and get on out of there. ALBT, these are all small companies. I like that one too. If I look at that one, I say, oh wow. So that big red candle means it just opened up real high and just faded all the way down. So anybody that bought the stock on whatever news they had got killed. And this is exactly why you need to learn how to short, because they're not in here to try to help investors. They push out some news and they're just slaughtering the poor investors that buy these small cap trash companies. So ALBT is on the list. I'm interested in that. Let's see what else. Ooh, that's still strong. So not really interested in it yet. That one's still strong. Not really interested. That faded back, but look at the range on that, $20 to 14. So it's a little bit out of my price range, and it's Chinese and it's 863 million. If you look at the bottom there, that little pop-up, 863 million. So that's a larger company. So not interested. It's also right here, almost $1 billion. So not really interested in that. That's $1 billion. No thanks. This is a smaller one. PMD. Ooh, strong close, but very low volume. So I'm gonna skip that. That's very strong, not interested. That's also strong, and it's $1 billion, not interested. That's a possibility, but not up enough. Okay, yeah, this was one I'm definitely interested in because it's been going up since $10. Now it's at 67. So DXYZ, that could be a huge trade for anybody that gets on the right side of that. One thing I like to look for too is there's like a rule of like threes. It's not a hard rule, but I'm just gonna open this up real quick. Just quick digression. I like when they do this. You see this move where it sort of goes one day, the next day, and then the third day. Now it closed strong, so if you were a buyer, you did well. And notice this one. It's actually 4 days, but you kind of see 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Then when you see a massive red candle down, that's the day I'm looking to get involved. If you're long, if you want to buy it, then you want to buy these on the first day. So you'd be monitoring this here, and when it broke this level, you could start to buy here, and then you could sell into these moves. It's just not my forte, but I teach both. I could show you how to do both of those. My kids are both longs currently in their accounts, so I could show you how to do that too. So you see it kind of broke that level there. So we could be at the beginning of a move. It could go one, another big one, and it could come all the way back to $100. That would be amazing. So I will be careful with this tomorrow because it did close strong, but it is on my watch list. So something to consider. Nope, that's a big company, 27 billion. That's SATL. It's up like 4 days in a row. Does have good volume. I do like the price. So that's a, you know, that one could keep going too. I'll put it on my watch list, but I don't know that I'm going to trade that one. ARKR, no volume, 117,000. See that? I'm not touching that. Serve. Okay, these are kind of, you know, now getting to the bottom of the barrel. Now the other way I do this too is, oh yeah, BitDeer. So Bitcoin's been going up a lot, and I will make some videos on Bitcoin because that's something I believe in. I think you should own some Bitcoin. So I'm going to sort this by volume now to see if it. Okay, SOUN. Yep, SOUN. I traded that on Friday. Did okay in it, but it did end up closing strong, so it wasn't as great as I would have liked. We already talked about that one. That one broke out. It's a billion-dollar company. No, thank you. This one's been on a lot of people's radar because they think it's going to fill the gap to 50, which it might, but it's too big. I'm not messing with that. That one we talked about. That one we talked about. BBAI. So AI right now is running. It's a whole sector that's running. So SOUN is an AI play, GXAI is an AI play, and BBAI is an AI play. This is actually the second time the AI sector has ran, so it is interesting. But BBAI, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. It's not really that interesting. Okay, most of these we looked at. So they're kind of some of the same names, right? I actually looked at this one before. It had a pretty good balance sheet, and I'm not really interested in that anymore. Not interested, not interested, not interested. Okay, so we got a list. Okay, so I've got my list for Monday. Now I'm gonna get into the specifics of the levels I want to trade. I already went over UPC. Actually, let's put SOUN up there because I do think I want to trade SOUN. Maybe. All right, now that I have those, I'm gonna just ideally, you know, you want to look at the levels next. So what levels am I interested in? So here you see UPC. So we got a 370. So I look to scale $4 and 450, and cover, or I should say stop out if over $5 and holds. So I'll get out, and then I will cover for profit every 10 to 20 cents. Okay, GXAI. XCur was on my list, but I'm gonna take it off. It's been a pain in the butt, to be honest. So let's go GXAI. Okay, so I look at the daily chart first. By the way, when I trade these, I use the 1 minute chart over here. And I have some studies on here, and we can talk about some of those later. But I got pivot points, and I got VWAP, which is this yellow line. The pivot points are these guys. So pivot points and VWAP. You can look up those if you want to, but I will have another video on what those are. GXAI, I love this fade. I just love that fade. So I want to be involved for a short. So let's see. Okay, so what do you guys see? I showed a previous video on support and resistance. That's all I use for determining the levels. So obviously we see this 350. Now it's give or take. It's not 350 on the money. So, you know, trading's not an exact science. So it's like give or take the 350 levels. Kind of, you see it spiked up. Where did it stop? Generally right there at 350. Then it came back down, you know, kind of to this level here. But then it spiked back up to where? 325. So kind of every 25 cents or so, kind of faded back. You know, kind of faded back. Yeah, kind of holding that 3 level. They're kind of eating this level, but this is bullish actually. This is very similar to this. So they could be going again. So I'm actually being pretty careful with this. I'm not going to take this first line. I actually expect this stock could keep going. We'll have to see what happens. But the fact that it's already at like I think 370 or whatever it closed at, you know, gives me a little bit of pause there. So I like this level there. So GXAI, I'm just gonna put still looks bullish. I would scale the 350 line with 1/3 size if over VWAP. So if it's like holding VWAP, which is that yellow line, you know, I'm not going to use any size. So you have to be careful with that. I'm a short, so I don't want it to be doing this. See how oh, this is VWAP. If the stock's trading over VWAP, that's bullish. If it's trading under VWAP, that's bearish. So and the best time for me is to be having my size on when it's under VWAP and size down when it's above VWAP. So this one is not my favorite right now. So I put I'm going to put just a note, just use caution. Use caution and small size. Okay. I will stop out over, I'll probably stop out over 370. So it's just the fact that I wrote that makes me already, I'm going to actually scratch that trade. I don't think I'm going to trade DXYZ because now it's kind of bugging me. All right, we'll go to the next one. HCTI. Right, that one. Yep, HCTI. All right, HCTI. So look at the daily chart first. I like to just do this because what I'm looking for is, hey, when it runs, does it just fade back? Like look at this candle here. This was the previous day back on October, and it just, you know, went, and then it just came back. It's been 50 cents. Just hanging out here. You know, occasional move to 77 back. You know, I don't trade them if they're under $1. You know, so I don't deal with this, and that's because you can really get hurt as a short. But I like the way this chart looks, and I love, you know, this fade back. So there's plenty of areas for me to scale in. It's very similar to this chart where it did this and then ended up closing at $1.30. So even this day it was stronger, but it couldn't even get there. So I already have a pretty good feel for where I'll be interested in this. Could it do this again? Sure. I think it's highly unlikely that it does that a second day in a row. So if we look at history tends to repeat in the stock market world. It looks like it's going to gap down, a little push, and then fade back. So I'm going to probably expect something like that. So I'll probably start scaling small at 120. Okay, yep. Oh, so after hours it faded back. So with this stuff here, I mean, we'll be lucky. I don't even see it getting to 120. No, it might. Oops, I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Do horizontal. So I like the 120. So when I put 120, that means my first orders will probably be like 119, 118. You know, just in and around the 120 area. And then with these type of stocks, it's just probably going to be 120, 130. 150 is key for dollar stocks. So I don't think it's going to break 150. So I'll just scale 120 to 150 and stop out at 160 and cover profit every 10 cents. So that's the plan there. ALBT, let's take a look at the daily. Oh yeah, big fader. Let's look at if there's any more history for us to make. Oh yeah, look at that. So this thing has a history. So, you know, if I was really paying attention to this Friday, I would have probably got an aggressive short when I saw the trend occurring. Let's see what happens on day 2, the last time it did this. Okay, so week open, actually it opens here and comes back and fades. So it could end up being a green day because of the massive fade. So not an ideal short usually. You know, you want it to be red on the day. So similar here as well. The next day was green. So I'll be looking for some. Let's see. All right, what lines do you guys see here? Oops, too much. All right, let's see. Stuff like this, though, it's at 4. So, you know, I'll probably see right here where it's kind of bump to like 450. I try to like stay around the the $half marks. You kind of saw that before, but you see it hit there, came down, boom, kind of broke out. So you kind of see 450 or 455, and I'll just probably just stick around 550, and I'm not going to be too interested over that level, so I'll probably 630 I'll stop out. So we'll just put, just keeps running on me, you got to get out of it, that's key. Scale 450 to 550, stop if over 6. Take profits. Take profits, we'll just say 10 to 20 cents. Okay, so that's that one. DXYZ. Let's take a look at DXYZ. Look at that. Super bullish. Don't want to get too confident on a short on something like this, guys. This can really wreck your account. Mad bullishness, increasing volume here, closed at the highs. I mean, every factor. So this is on watch. So I'm going to put on watch only for a breakdown. So when it breaks down, then I'll be interested. So we might have a day like this day where it breaks down, you know, or we might have a day like this, or we could have another day like this, right? It could just push. But the fact that it's up here, it means a lot of people bought into the close. I mean, look at that. It closed officially at 67 or at 67.26, but it kept going after hours, guys. So it, you know, 75 bucks almost came back. So, you know, in terms of when do I think it's broken, that's what I got to ask myself. Well, for one, it's got to be under 70, no question. And then let me look at this. What was VWAP? What was VWAP? So VWAP is 60 bucks. So if I'm gonna trade this, it's got to be under, you know, under 60 bucks, dude. I'm gonna only short if under 60, which is previous day's VWAP. If it breaks, if trading while above VWAP, use 1/3 size. So that's key. So looking for a 70 break. Only involve if a 70 break and stays broken. 70 is key. So if it breaks 70, let's say I get involved with a short, it breaks 70, but it reclaims, I'm gonna get out. So that's my plan there. If it breaks 60 and holds full size. Okay, we'll talk about sizing in another video. I'm just showing you how I go through this process. SOUN, same thing. Super strong, bullish every day, closing at the highs. Don't want to play with that. That is fire. So same thing on watch for breakdown. 1/3 size if above VWAP. VWAP was why is VWAP not on here? There it is. VWAP was 1420. VWAP was 1420 if above 1420. So what's a key level I would like to see break for SOUN? Let's look. So, I mean, 13 would really sink to 1280, you know, because you see it bounce twice. Look at that. What's the low there? Yeah, 1283. Yeah, so like 12. That 1280 there, dude, seems pretty key. Essentially, you need it to stay under 1280 and keep going. So that's a massive one. We already said 1420 was VWAP, so that's like right there. But in terms of levels, you see this trend. This is what I don't want to be involved with short. You have plenty of time to short, so there's no reason to get crazy involved with these until they're broken. So this thing came from down here, guys. So $3, $4, $5. So I don't need to be early on this. Okay, I don't need to be early. I could take my time. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the tide has really turned, and we're seeing under 13, under 1280. So that's what I'm thinking. So still strong. Be patient. Wait for 1280 to break, and then use full size. That's an option. Now the other thing is with this, a lot of the shorts are trapped. So if you shorted here and you were stubborn, you held, you're caught in this, dude. You're dead. So I think there's a lot of shorts caught in this. So I could see this going to 20. I think this goes to 20 possibly. So I'm not gonna be early on this, guys. I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna pick my level. That's the beauty about this game. You can pick your level and you can wait until the deal makes sense, right? Until the deal makes sense. So that's key. What other key levels do I kind of see? 14 definitely looks key. You kind of see here, kind of bounced off that level here. I like 14. 1350, obviously bouncing off of that. It seems like every 50 cents, you kind of see what's going on there. 15 is pretty key, and then of course this 50 level here. So yeah, so I want to see all the people that bought. I want to see them underwater. So I'm really gonna be patient. I don't want to, I got some capital, but I don't want to play around with that. So. Oh, I wrote it in SATL, so we'll put this over here. Sorry about that. Cut. Paste. All right. So that's what we're going to do there. We're just going to chill on that. And then SATL was the last one. So really, these are probably not going to trade these. This is the same thing, like super bullish. Boom, 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 4 days, but they get weaker the more days that go by. So like this is actually 3 days, and man, I tell you what, after 3 days, these things usually have a crack. So tomorrow, I think SATL could be a good option. So if I do SATL, if I do that one, right now, I mean it's gonna be the same thing. Like I'm not getting involved until I see a break of I see the previous day's VWAP of 370. So this is, this is going to be this is our first red day watch. So I'll look to short on a confirmed break of VWAP and full size if it goes red. This is not a lot of volume, so not a lot of people will be participating in this one, which is good. For me. So let's just look at some key levels here just to finish out the watch list. This looks like they pinned it to 4. I saw the same behavior in SOUN when they pinned it to 15. That's so they can screw over the options sellers. I see 4. I see definitely like 375. Not a whole heck of a lot of range. I see 350. Okay, so I'm really going to want to see a 375 break, but I did that before. So just look at this. This is something I got to be aware of. Let's say it breaks 375, right, and it's heading down. I get short at 375. Well, let's say I did that on this day. I would have made money, right? Short at 375. Let's say I get in there and I'm covering out, right? I made 25 cents right here, down to 38. If you get greedy and you hold for more, this is what can happen. It can grind right back. That's why you have to be aware that this is part of the action that can happen. So once you get in the money, you just stop out at break even right here. Now who cares, right? You make some money, you move on. So that's it. Look short on a confirmed breakdown of VWAP and full break. Yeah, I had that right. Full break of VWAP and full size if it goes red. No need to be early. And watch for reclaims and stop out at break even. Okay, that's my list, guys. I hope you found this video useful. This is how I plan. So you make a plan and then you work your plan, and that is how you make money in trading. You stop out when you say you're going to stop out, and you trade the trades that you planned out. All right.